What do you expect? I mean, I realize there's so much uncertainty here, but it does look like Boris Johnson has finally got this deal. If he can get just a few people from Labour, a couple DUP people to vote for it, he turns into a hero really over the weekend.
Yes, and it's worth reflecting for a moment of where we were just 10 days ago. Would you ever have imagined when early last week we had the blame game erupting into the social media that we're now here with everyone high-fiving each other? And we've got this definitive point tomorrow in Parliament. I say it's definitive, but to be clear, it's not the end point. It's a gateway, I think, more than likely to the next play. But there is a possibility he could get it through tomorrow. It looks to me as if the maths is very, very tight, and with those 10 DUP votes missing, he's going to struggle to get quite enough Labour dissenters to cross the floor. But I've seen estimates that there could only be 2 or 3 votes in it, and who knows, with this statement, with Brussels actually coming in alongside the UK government to apply maximum pressure, maybe a few more people will come across. But actually our assumption is that that's probably too much to look for tomorrow, and therefore we move to the next chapter quite quickly.
Right, and well, I mean, interesting that you remind us where we've been in 10 days, but let's not forget, of course, Chris, that tension that was created some 10 days ago or so, a lot of it came from Number 10, and now Number 10 getting the credit for diffusing that, which is interesting. Let me ask you what is at stake then on Sunday, because as you say, we move into another stage, however Saturday goes. Whether he gets this deal or not, clearly that matters hugely, but then what lies ahead is probably another election. So how do you position yourself around all of those outcomes?
Well, exactly, and I think that's why Boris Johnson looked as happy as he did yesterday, because whichever scenario plays out, he probably feels it puts him in a pretty strong position. So if by a small miracle he gets it through tomorrow, then of course that's a tremendous outcome for him. If he doesn't, I can't really see how we end up anywhere other than in a general election. Now, yes, one would imagine that he'll be forced to request an extension, not least through the explicit legislation, the Benn Act, but of course he can say that's not my fault. Now we have an election, I've done a deal, I've delivered on my side of the bargain, let's take it to the people. And with the latest polling evidence showing that the electorate seems to be swinging back behind Brexit, 52% now saying they're in favour of Brexit, because what had happened in the last couple of years is after Brexit support swirled during the referendum and had ebbed again, and we seem to have been around 45% support for Brexit, it seems to have popped up above 50% again. I think he'll be licking his lips at having that campaign with a reunited Conservative Party behind him and a still divided Labour Party with a rather confused message on Brexit.